Facebook ads can be overwhelming and intimidating. Where is your money going? Are you spending too much or too little? And is it even working properly? Don't you worry, this video will show you step by step on how to run your first successful campaign. For those that are new here, my name is Sarkis and I have managed over thousands of dollars on Facebook, and I will be sharing my game-changing strategies absolutely for free on this channel. So make sure to smash that subscribe button and that notification bell on so you don't miss out. This video is part of a longer playlist about Facebook ads that cover all the secret sauce absolutely for free. Now, let's dive right in. First and foremost, make sure to go to your ads manager. If you don't know where that is, you can simply just Google ads manager Facebook and that will take you to that. Now, obviously, if you haven't set up your business manager before, make sure to watch this other video about how to set up your business manager before you get into this one, because you gotta make sure everything is ready to go. In this video, what we're going to do is, number one, we gotta make sure that we're in the right ad account. So how do we do that? We click over here. You can click on see more ad accounts and you got to make sure you're selecting the one below your business manager name. I see a lot of students, what they do is they use their personal ad account and then they can't find the pixel and a lot of things, and they don't use the ad account of the business manager. So this is very important to start off with. So make sure you select the right ad account and then we can get it started. Now, after all of this, what we're going to do is we're going to click on create. Facebook will ask us to choose a campaign objective. Obviously, what we are looking for is sales. 99% of the time, I always go for the sales unless I am trying to get some sort of engagement on my ad or my page, then I will go for engagement. But for this campaign, we will go for sales. And press on continue. It will ask you between Advantage plus shopping campaigns or manual sales campaign. Now, Advantage plus shopping campaigns is this new feature of Facebook that came out in August. They're really trying to push it. It does work, but you do need enough data on your pixel before you go down that route. So I would advise you to try it out when you have a seasoned pixel and enough data and you're a bit more on the advanced field, then you would go into this campaign setup. But for the moment, we will go for manual sales setup and we'll press on continue. For the campaign name, what we're going to call this is top of funnel. That means people that don't know your brand too well, and then name of product. It's very important that while you're setting this up, you keep everything nice and organized, because later on, once you have thousands of ad sets, thousands of campaigns, it is way easier to find things and organize everything to make the right decision. So make sure everything is always clear and you name your campaigns and ad sets properly. So right now we just call this top of funnel and then name of product. Over here, I'm not going to touch any of this. Buying type, I leave it at auction. Campaign objective is the one we use. User catalog, I've seen this being turned on for some business managers automatically. So make sure it is off. Very important. A/B test, we're not going to cover that right now. An Advantage campaign budget either. I'm going to leave this as an ABO, which means we put the budget on the ad set level. And once we're done with this, we're just going to press next. And now we are at the ad set level. So it's very important that we understand these terms on Facebook. Campaign is basically the big box. It has the ad sets in and the ads in. And what campaign is basically telling Facebook what is your objective. Is it sales? Is it engagement? And so on. Then we have ad sets. Ad sets is usually where we tell Facebook what to target. So what is your target audience? What's their age, the location, what are they interested in, and so on. And then ads is obviously your videos, your photos, your carousels, and all of that. So now that we're at the ad set level, we have to set this up properly. So for the ad set name, I will leave it as such for the moment, but we will be coming back and changing it. So conversion location, I'm going to go for website because they are converting on my Shopify website. Performance goals, I want a maximized number of conversions. So I will leave it as such. Pixel, very important. This is what will determine all the data to be transferred to your Facebook properly. Make sure to select the correct pixel. And then for conversion event, we're going to go for purchase because this is what we want at the end of the day. So purchase it is. Cost per result goal, I will leave this blank for the moment, but we can cover CBO cost caps in another video. If you want to hear more about that, you can leave a comment below. But obviously, as a first campaign, I would not touch this because you don't have enough data to know what's your cost per result goal. So we will just leave it as blank and allow Facebook to make that decision for us and to give us the data we're looking for. Then dynamic creative, I'm gonna leave that off. And this is where I start changing things around. So budget and schedule, I would put this at $10 or 10 euros a day. And then the start date, very important that we put it the next day at 12 a.m. The reason why we put 12 a.m. on the next day is because we want Facebook to properly optimize our budget for the full 24 hours. If you publish this at 10 p.m., then Facebook will only have 4 hours to spend your 10 euros instead of 24 hours. So make sure to put it at 12 a.m. the next day. The next thing I want you guys to do is go to audience controls, and this is where you are telling Facebook the location you want for your advertising. So locations, you can put the top 5 countries. I usually do that, but obviously it depends on your e-commerce and your website and where you are able to actually ship to. So I will put the top 5 for the moment. The reason why they're called the top 5 is because number one, they're English speaking countries. So I can have my website in English and not have to worry about, translating it. But also it's because they are very active online shoppers. So this is why we call them top 5. And that's United Kingdom, United States, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So now that we have our 5 locations in here, now that you're done with the locations, you can also put a minimum age for Facebook and give it this control minimum. However, Facebook limits you to 25 minimum for some reason. This is quite new on Facebook because before you could tell Facebook exactly the age and the minimum age you want. So I would suggest you to go for 21 because this is when people actually have buying power and they make their own decisions on buying products online, right? So I would go for 21. For exclude these custom audiences, this is basically if you want to exclude some custom audience that you created, but for the moment, we don't want to exclude any languages. You can leave it as all languages. I know Facebook is pretty smart and will determine people that already understand English, especially in these English speaking countries. Advantage Plus audience, this is where things get interesting. I actually had the honor to be invited to the Meta Summit in 2024 a few weeks back, and basically what Facebook was really pushing was these new AI features that they are integrating inside their platforms. One being the Advantage Shopping Campaigns Plus that we saw in the campaign objective, but also these small features such as Advantage Plus Audience. So what this is basically that you can give suggestions to Facebook on, what your target audience likes, but Facebook will do the heavy lifting and try to find the perfect audience for your product. So you can click on here on audience suggestions, and this time you can actually give them a more specific age. So let's say my audience is actually more on the older side and 35 and above, then I can specify this over here and give that suggestion to Facebook. This is the difference between the suggestions over here and the control up here. The control is this is what Facebook will 100% follow, and the suggestions is something that they will take into consideration. Detailed targeting, this is where we can also put an interest to find our ideal audience. So for example, if I am selling a headlamp and I know that this headlamp primarily is used by people that are in the construction field because they don't want to be holding a torchlight, then I can come over here and write construction. And you can see that while I'm writing it, Facebook will give me a bunch of different suggestions. And you can see over here, construction industry, that seems pretty nice. And you can see the size is pretty big. Now, once you click it, it will change up a bit. So you can see the estimated audience size is a bit lower because it is taking into account the locations we put and the controls that we put previously. An ideal number that I want you guys to focus on over here in the estimated audience size is above 5 million, but below 100 million. Now, why is that? Because below 5 million, that can be too specific and drive your CPMs higher. I'm not saying that this can be a good strategy, but it can be something that will hurt your scaling because you are less able to actually find people if you're below that 5 million. Now, if you're above 100 million, it's kind of like not putting any interest at all. It's just so broad that it doesn't really matter what you're putting in there. So that's why, between those two lines, that would be the ideal numbers to go for. Now, once I put that in here, what I want to do is copy this. And remember, we kind of left the ad set name blank. So this is when I want to change it. There's two ways of changing it. Either scroll all the way up to put it in, or easier way is actually, and faster way, is to double click over here and paste it in here. I also like to add approximately the estimated audience size, just so I know what is working on my ad account and what is not. Is it the higher, more broad interest, or is it the more specific interest? This is something just to keep in mind. For placements, make sure you leave it as Advantage Plus placements. As I said before, Meta is really focusing on AI and really making their algorithm smarter, which it is. So I would make sure to leave that choice to Meta unless you have, specific requirements and you just want to put, for example, a reel. Then you're able to do that. You can press on more, and then you can basically edit this over here. If you want to be editing the placements and actually be more specific, because for some reason you just want to show reels, for example, then you can put on edit over here and you can go for manual placements and then select what platform you want to put it on. Let's say you just want to put it on Instagram and you just want to target the reels, then you can do that and be specific about it. So I unselected these, and you can see over here that only Instagram is selected, and then I can just leave it for stories and reels over here, and then Facebook will do just that. Now, honestly, I'm just going to leave it at Advantage Plus placements, and this is what I would suggest you do as well. And there we go. We have our ad set ready. Now, the last step to build your successful campaign is the ad. This is where most people go wrong. And this is honestly one of the most important parts in advertising. Now, it's important to note what kind of ad you want to go for. There are many types of ads out there. There's image ads, there's video ads, there's carousels, catalogs, and the list goes on. So it's very important that you understand what kind of ad resonates best with your audience. My advice is test all of these to see which one will work the best. And the most common ones is usually photo ads and video ads. Now, I have an entire video about how to build high converting photo ads. So make sure to check this out after you're done with this video. For the moment, I'm just going to call this video 1. Make sure you select your Facebook page. And if you have an Instagram account, make sure you select it over here. So for the ad setup, I will leave it at create ad and then manual upload. This is what we will do. Single image or video, make sure that is selected if you are uploading an image or a video. And very important over here, the multi-advertiser ads. I like to tick that off, even though it is recommended, especially for dropshippers. You don't want basically your ad to be showing against competitors because it's the same product, right? Now, for bigger brands, if you know you have an irresistible offer that is beating the entire market and you want to show that against your competitors, then you can leave that checked on. And now for the ad creative, super important, we're going to click on media and add our first video in. So I'm going to click on add video, and then you can click on upload over here and upload your first video. All right, this might take a few seconds, so let's be patient till it becomes 100%. So it's interesting that this is happening, and actually I want you guys to see this because I've seen this bug a lot on Meta lately. You upload something and you can get something like upload failed or it didn't work. Very easy fix, honestly. You just have to refresh the screen and come back to it. I wanted you guys to see that the ads manager isn't perfect. There are some bugs sometimes, but I don't want you to worry or panic. Just refresh the screen. Sometimes you might have to log out and log back in or try from a different computer, and it should work. So I'm gonna come here again, add media, add video, and it will show my video. So as you can see, it worked. You know, it showed upload failed, but it was just uploading. It was just a bug. So I'm just gonna click on it over here and I'm gonna press next. And then it will ask me if I want to trim my video, but obviously since the video editor already did that, so I'm just gonna press next. And then it will ask you to crop it if you want, for example, one-on-one, like more zoomed in. Now, honestly, I like to leave these as original unless your photos or videos actually work in these formats. But otherwise, if you don't have it like properly set up, I would leave it just as original. Now, optimize, this is where Facebook is giving us some optimizations with their AI. You can see over here, they have relevant comments. I like to leave that on. Basically, it just highlights the most important comment. Visual touch-ups, this is basically if you want to have some color change and so on. You can put that on as well. Text improvements, this is basically just Facebook playing around with your original text, just putting it as a headline or so on. So I will leave this on as well. So basically all optimizations are on. For the video, I would do it that way. For the photos, I would read through them and make sure, you know, the ones I'm turning on, I carefully selected. And then I'm going to press on done. Over here, Facebook's AI is asking me to turn on 1 day engaged view. I actually agree with that. So I will put this on. This is basically just showing it to people that are more likely to engage on the same day. Now, another thing I want to point out is the thumbnail. The thumbnail on Facebook is basically what people see before they click play on your video. And it's important that you have something that's catchy, but very important that you don't have it fully designed. I usually like to take a nice, attractive screenshot of the video, something that calls attention and catches curiosity. So how do you do that? You can click on Edit Media, Edit Video, and then you can come over here to Thumbnail. And then right now it's set as automatic. That means Facebook is choosing it for us. I'll just go for manual and you can choose the one that catches your attention the most. All right, so once you select your thumbnail, you can press on save and there you go. So primary text, make sure you have an attractive text about your product. I like to start these off with a hook. So an attention grabbing question or statement in the beginning, then 3 to 4 benefits as check marks, very easy to read, and then your irresistible offer followed by a call to action. So how are we going to do this? I will show you guys an example. Let's take the example of the headlamp, which is what we were working on. And you can see over here that I have an example of primary text that works very well. So you can see no more clunky torch lights with our ultra lightweight headlamp, navigate the dark hands-free. So you can see this is a really nice hook. It explains the main benefit of the product in a very attractive way. And it's telling you like you're not going to be bothered anymore by, you know, holding this torchlight and, you know, getting like overwhelmed by it. So it's like lightweight. You just put it on your head and you have no more darkness. You have light in front of you. So this is really nice. And then you can see the 3 to 4 benefits in here. 230 wide angle beam, 5 unique lighting modes, waterproof and weatherproof, lightweight and easily adjustable. And then my irresistible offer, buy one, get one for free today. And then last but not least, the call to action with a bit of scarcity. So stock is limited, which is true. Click shop now to secure your headlamp today. So this is a really good call to action. You can induce scarcity with stock is limited or a limited time promotion and so on. But make sure you do that so people are called to take action on the same day. Now this is looking pretty good. Obviously you can test these and find the most optimized one for your primary text. You can also see that Facebook has now text generation in there, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of like having ChatGPT, but it's all in-house, so you don't have to actually go to ChatGPT and change up the words. You can actually change it all up on Facebook. For the moment, I'm just gonna leave it as such, but I would highly look into these and see if you have any better ones in there. For the headline, this is very important. This is basically the second thing that people see after your image or video. So in order of importance, the first one is going to be your ad, so your photo or video. The second one is going to be your headline, and the third one is going to be your primary text. So I want you guys to really focus on that headline, make it short and sweet and attractive. Now, there are two ways to approach the headline. Either you can just put the name of your product, or you can put your offer in there. So for the headline, as you can see over here, I put Nightbud, the last headlamp you need, emphasizing on the fact that this is the last headlamp they will ever need because it is so damn good. Now for the description, it's optional because it only shows on Facebook feeds, so you can utilize it. You can put some social proof in there or actually just your promotion. So over here you can see over 50,000 happy customers, emphasizing on the social proof and credibility of the product. Now call to action, I like to put this at shop now. And then if you have any promo codes, which you can do in retargeting, you can actually put this on. This is again a new feature on Facebook, but for the moment we do not have any promo code and we will leave this as off. Very important that we put in our website. Make sure you put your product page in there. We want the customer to take as little as steps as possible until they put their card information in and you hear that cha-ching sound, right? So we want to put the product page in here. So now that you put your website link in, I will leave you guys with a really nice tip that will help you on the long run. We all know that Facebook isn't the best with tracking. Unfortunately, they are trying to get better, but ever since the iOS 14 update, Facebook tracking went down. And in order for you guys to make the right decisions on your ad, you need the most accurate data possible, right? So what I would suggest you guys to do is click on build a URL parameter. And basically what this does is it will add code to your product page link. Like that, you can double check your data on the Shopify side, which I will show you in just a moment. So over here in campaign medium, you can click on ad set name. So it will put the ad set name you have. Campaign name, I will put the campaign name. And then campaign content, I will put the ad name. And then just hit on apply. So very important, how do we see this on Shopify? Let me show you guys right now. So you can go to your analytics and then you can go to your online store conversion rate and click on view report. And let's say, I got a purchase, but it's not showing up on my ads manager and I want to double check where that purchase came from. Then you can come over here. Right now, I'm just going to remove the hourly and put it as none because it can get a bit confusing. And then the only thing I want to do is click over here and put UTM. You can select UTM campaign medium, UTM campaign name, which will show you the name, and UTM campaign content, which will show you the ad. And once you put that in here, you can go, for example, and see your sessions converted and where that exactly came from. So for example, over here, I got one purchase and you can see it came from the cost cap ABO. All right, there you go. Now you have all the secret tips and all the strategies to build your first ever successful campaign. Make sure to hit that publish button. And for the big question, when should you turn it off? I usually like to leave it running for at least 2 to 3 times your cost per purchase. So that means basically if you are selling a product for $30, I would turn this off between $60 to $90. Like that, you are giving enough time for Facebook to properly optimize for your kind of product and your ads. Obviously, if you do have a purchase in there, you might not need to turn it off. But if you don't, I would just wait and be patient with Facebook for the algorithm to learn about your brand a bit more. And there you have it. You have built your first ever successful campaign. If you guys like this video, make sure to put that thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to this channel with the notification bell on, because the next video you do not want to miss out. It's about how to read the data and how to understand if your ad is performing well or not. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you all next week.